Let's go. Welcome back to the business economy. I'm so finished. I actually la 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 la. Welcome back to the business upcoming. I'm host 70. I actually starting a really fun series today, and I think so pivotal in our lives, but also feel like it talk about not really talk about so many of us relate. So I can actually talk about the series. I call it Art of Being Real. And the first episode I want to talk about words art of standing alone without feeling lonely. And if there's something we have come across on regular individuals. Yeah, we really do across and business professional and on the top or owner on the business. There's a lot of time you feel like a completely alone that kind of consumes you. I when I realized that it's different between loneliness and rejections and actually separations and alignment. And those two I'm excited to share you with today. So we are reason becoming that's why you watching my podcast. And I just want you make sure you understand sometimes personal way becoming can grow in the same growth with when you're comfortable in because being comfortable and discomfort creates a new frame of you to grow in the person supposed to be for your future. And you have to understand that's okay. That you're not accepted in the same roots, you are not changing. It's okay. You're growing, you're becoming. So let's get into it. We all have to feel needed, we all have to want it. And we live in a society and world where moving and being busy means you're being productive. And I talk about 1,000 times, that's not productive at all. That doesn't mean you are doing right thing because busy. A lot of time you're just running a place and you're not moving, you're not growing, you just answer things for people, you're just kind of continuing the cycle you're in, but you're not actually growing in that. You're just sustaining or surviving really is what I call it. Because it's just got motion, we have to take a step back and understand. We think at noise. We can hear yourself. You can hear, you know what, for yourself and for you. And when isolation comes, it's a moment to breathe and actually start listening to yourself, listening to the inner version of you that God trying to put something in you, tries to speak you. And it's not just being lonely, it's just everybody hates me, nobody wants me. I have the moments, sometimes I have the moments again, until flow comes. But it's not you, it's not just a why me moment. I usually call moments like persistent moments. You're not broken, you're not wanted by others. Maybe just moment where really life and is trying to separate you so that it can allow you to where you need to go exactly where. Boom, you not actually get to where you need to be. Or be the person that's going to get you that version of you. Be that person of going to be a big life. Actually manifest those things you once thought, you once believed that you can do, but because of the noise and because of the light, we have to get caught up to whether your parents, whether businesses like loneliness is right for us to step back and so okay, I have a note of right now. A template in the air, but what do I want rather than what do people for me? What does me not busy look like? So space right now for you, maybe you're going through seasons of isolation and loneliness. Maybe it's your training grounds right now to hear what it is that these next phrases and phrases season in your life are going to require of you. Because it might not be the same people, may not be, the same persons that we're with and might not be the same hats you continue to wear. Maybe it's somebody completely different and sometimes loneliness give you a chance to root yourself and like think of the trees, you got to be root in something and because of the busy, because you're caught off, you forget, our roots, you forget who we are at the core, happy, fun, loving, caring, a positive person. All of the stuff get up through us. You're just starting chipping away at who you are, and it doesn't give you a chance actually bloom into the who you're supposed to be. So we'll talk about being rooted and the next season of blooming your life. So first thing you can take understanding that isolation is actually reparations. It's a training ground. It's really not just you and everybody hand you at the moment you can sit back and say, okay, what is this that I need to work into myself, right? I can give you a really cool that example just really have a life, right? So this whole crazy and had definitely changed the people that were around me, the people that I love, leaned on for people of my life. Everything changed me for me, everything. A quick story. My family, my sisters, or probably the people that lean on most of my life, right? And we have a season, we had sisters, and like they become the best friends. Then like as an other again, you can be the best friend. But they were at my core. There's definitely people that go to for anything. Whether it was like some good, bad weather, they were just there, and they end up moving, and it feels like everything was kind of just what the heck, a whole other level of loneliness because you're not close to your sister, but think about your support, you just completely moving away. And in the season of my life that we're single through divorce, learn how to single mom, learn how to also rest the company completely, like, and as the new version of me, it's so difficult not to have those people in proximity, right? And I had to understand this process so much. I'm talking to from where I'm learning and where I'm grew from this whole season. I'm still learning, I'm still growing, because I realized that I was happy for them. I got real sad, and I was like, why we would like when I need them right now? And I would God do this to me when these other people have carried me, and now in moment really need some to like be there with me, carry me. Why now? And I came to a real hard realization that as the whole year was going on before I dissociated myself from my roots was my faith. And I understood more than ever that's where it's time for to go back to core part of my life, like my faith. I didn't turn to anybody, I'd gone to God. I turned to Him first before I turned to my partner, my friends, my sisters, my core group of people. And that happened in so many seasons of my life that I saw that every single I turned back to my roots. I was developing blooms in something else. I need to be the seasons. And I guess that's right saying is maybe you are in that season where you feel like a lost self of your core people, or whether to move on into relationship and or then have a same time for anymore. Use that a moment to say, okay, what now that I feel like isolation, I feel like alone. What is the means for me? What does it mean for the next chapter in my life? Who am I supposed to be outside of having my emotional support people? Like who am really? And that is true. And I learned, and that few months, I've been getting acquainted with myself and rooting myself in back to the health. I always know that personal development was like, okay, like I'm going back to a version of myself dependent solely on God. And that mindset super cheesy to you guys not understand or have a same faith, okay. But it's changed everything for me in this season because I got out of wave of loneliness and depression and realized that I was standing alone. That it felt like I was standing alone, where I was now standing firm back into this foundation that was always there. I just started filling the gaps, filling the silence with other people when I'm just allowing me to create a different version of myself. And when everything hit fans, I had to go to back and be that person again and remember that okay, it's who I know how to hear from many others things outside. I was just been through this year, and I know how to get myself out of against. I don't need just people. It's okay to need everything. It's like really majority of things in life, but But for yourself, you need to be aiming something that roots in that even people leave, that you can go back. So okay, I'm not alone, and I'm rebuilding again. If you're isolations, if you're training ground, if you go back to your roots, or you say stuff, I don't have roots, go find go find something that gives you peace. Go find something that reminds you you are. For me, that's God. That's always been God. I met many in the mansions. I know that as more as raw, He wants the best for me, and so not being super religious, but it's important. It's important for me, and I think if you can find that, you can find the truth of who you are without anybody else opinions, everybody telling you, it's going to the best foundations for yourself to be get out of loneliness mentality, understanding just you being separated, you being pulled apart, so you can be the best version of yourself in the next seasons, and just boom, go to the world. Number two, I want to talk about outgrowing circles that no longer fit your piece. Man, at its 20s, I did that for just a long time. I stay in circle with people or something just because, you know, I didn't want to make people feel bad. I want to make feel like I don't know what's the rhythm for that. And then we changing, and there was obviously situations happening, but it's easy to fall into the kind of people pleasers without plans to be pleasers. But it's easy to find your going back to comfort. It's easy to find yourself saying, "It's people love me for who I am," but forget about who you are, but about who you want to become. And it's something I love you, I still step you. I'm going to try to kind of string you down, and you can try to hold your version life, string you down. Some relationships are meant for who you were, and there's reason when you becoming. And I'm telling you, there's people in my life that I clearly remember gave me fear of waiting to go business, and they told me all these different things about business being bad and market being bad. Don't do this, don't do that, and I remember really young, I was afraid because I'm making oh my God, I'm making a mistakes, but trying to go into the business, I make mistakes by risking, my money, my this and my times. I want to separate myself from those people, and we got into environments where the people who were not just successful but were also just risk takers. I'm a dreamer, a vision as well. People has set goals for themselves. I saw the achievement, I saw that so possibility. I just naturally gravitated to them, and I was like, I want this. I want it to be a circle, because this circle is only gonna make me feel like I have to go school for the next 20 years of my life, and I get to degrees is something I probably don't want to do, and I just play it safe. I just super to remember that you have to take a risk on yourself and get up your circles that feels comfortable, because they won't let you grow. They won't limit you, and they won't make you a better version of who you are. They just keep you as who you were. And life is about becoming better every day. Not just yesterday, not just couple, but it's about becoming a better version, a stronger version, a wiser version, a version that your kids are going to be like, oh, wow, she did that or he did that, and that's what made history. It's again, let's remember we're talking about the art of standing alone without lonely. And the last things I would touch on this topic was the art of finding peace and stillness, because my God is come from me. I love to talk. Obviously, I started the podcast, I just to myself. But I love to talk. I don't like to be still. It's like, I don't know what just who I am, or I don't like to be still. I like to be moving. And When I understood how important being still was, I realized that I was actually starting to hear myself again, to hear the versions of this now 31 years old and what she now wants to her life and what she presents her future, and why I need to sometimes just shut up and just be okay alone. I give you a really cool, and that's cool. I give you really aha moments that this came to be so. The first weekend that I had without my kids, because I was letting them to that. I just remember I was like, oh no, I'm have the whole here. I can't be alone in this house. I can be alone. Like I don't know what it's not. I would like to be home and have done here. Yeah,